So today we're going to take a little bit of time and talk about specific inquiry questions. I know some of us are still working through our proposals at this point, but as soon as you're done or while you're waiting for your proposals to be presented and approved, you definitely want to start working on specific inquiry questions. And this is going to involve more reading or finding more articles in the Connecticut State Library, and you by now know that link really well. But what does this look like? Well, let's pretend for a second that I had done my proposal right here, and this was my specific research question. The research question I wrote was, how does having an incarcerated parent impact student achievement? I picked this because this particular set of inquiry questions has been an anchor set for us for a number of years, because it does happen to be a really good one. And it's also from an existing project from a few years back. So it's a good anchor set for us to use. And I want you to keep this video and this digital anchor set that I gave you so you have an idea of what you're working with, okay? Now, the first thing I want to show you is what they look like, and that's this form right here. So this form right here, which you'll have but you won't be able to edit, has the very same question. This question right here, copied and pasted directly into this spot right here. That's nothing new, all right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to write at least five sub questions, questions that are slightly more narrow, that narrow the scope of inquiry, the scope of what we're looking for, but doesn't become so narrow that they're a yes or a no question. And for each one of them, you're going to evaluate them. Here are the five that this particular anchor set uses. So I'll make them a little larger. How does the incarceration of the parents affect students academically? So this narrows the look at student achievement. The second question is, how and what ways can parental incarceration affect their children besides academically? So let's look at those. And we assume it's going to be social, emotional, and things like that. Now, how does the incarceration of their parents affect young adults and their futures? Now, that's going to make you look at data on income, data on college completion, data on things like that. And we can, make those questions more narrow and work together on that. Number four, how can children with incarcerated parents be assisted to avoid negative effects? So this is how can we help parents who are in the system work with their children to avoid some of the impacts that we saw in questions one, two, and three. And then what programs does Hartford provide for these students and how effective are they? And that's something we're going to look at what's going on inside the district. And all of that combines to make a really good research project. And the next thing I want to show you is this list of questions down here. Sorry, I skipped around, because you're going to evaluate your questions. So for each question, question one, question two, you see it's yellow, question three, it's green. And if you're not having trouble seeing those colors, at least you do have the letters, right? Then you're going to ask the question, does the question have an appropriate scope or purpose? Does it focus on an important aspect of the unit? Is it useful? Will it lead to meaningful inquiry? Is it answerable through research? Is the question understandable or clear? Does the question require multiple answers or possibly more questions? And is your question's answer unknown to you? So don't pick a question that you already know the answer to. If it's something you already have in your head, that's useful information, but it's not necessarily going to be a good specific inquiry question. So we're going to write that together. You're going to fill it out on this form right here. Again, copy and paste your original research question here, and then compose these five questions based on your research, and then evaluate them right in here. Hope that helps. Best of luck to you.